Introducing National Streaming Sports, live and on-demand sports talk programming that you can access 24/7. For the premier sports talk experience, tap into our Roku channel. Start your mornings with Mac and Jack covering all the weekend sports action. Then pour a cup and enjoy all the sports you can drink on the Coffee and Sports podcast. At midday, talk sports from east to west on the Coast to Coast podcast. Followed at night by some hot girl talk with Prim and Proper Sports featuring Sonia Pearson. Talk boxing on the Gloved Fist. Yankee fans tune in for Start Spreading the News. And there's more on the College Sports Huddle and Sports Scope with Robert Butler. There are 20 podcasts in all and 70 weekly shows giving us a 3.4-star viewer rating. To find us on Roku TV, search for National Streaming Sports on the Roku search bar. Click on the logo and you're in. National Streaming Sports, live and on-demand sports talk for America.
But not the way they're doing it. I don't like it, at all myself.
They just screw it up. That's what they do. They screw it up.
That's what baseball does, because we have to be, they're afraid of how this going to be viewed if they don't do what they're doing. And I think they're, it's just, don't worry about that.
Keith, I mentioned this to Pags, and I want to talk about Jackie Robinson right after this. The Negro Leagues, like it or not, was basically a minor league to baseball, like their AAA and AA was, and that they drafted them up and signed them. Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, all some of these greats that came in here. Bob Gibson, now he's the highest average lifetime, and I don't know what competition he pitched. I mean, there were some great pitchers in the Negro League, but were they all the level of the major league pitchers?
Good old Mac there. Welcome to another edition of National Professional Sports. I am hosted tonight with B. Strilla, Bo Crouch, and Keith Engel. Good evening, gentlemen. We always honor our great producer and friend. We've doing so all month long with clips with the blast from the past. That one only about 9 months ago. So guys, a lot can change in such a short period of time. But that was the Philly sports guy on that network with him on that one. And I joined later on, but it's about Mac and getting him out there. Keith, any thoughts? You were on that clip tonight.
I remember that conversation very, very well. It's when MLB decided they were going to add all the Negro League stats to the Major League Baseballs, and Josh Gibson was all of a sudden the Major League Baseball home run leader. And I know I wasn't in favor of that. So it was a good conversation, and I don't think any of us. I think if I remember right, all three of us were against that decision by Major League Baseball. And it hasn't really stuck. So
yeah, I remember joining the conversation and talking about that as well. And coincidentally, I didn't even realize that particular clip was going to have Jackie Robinson's name mentioned. I actually found a picture of her today. It was on social media that she's 102 and looking good. So it's like, look at the irony of that. Like, I literally had no idea. So anyway, welcome one and all. Of course, we're going to be talking a little bit of NBA playoff action tonight, and we're going to go from that point into basically talking about the schedule release that will be coming out around 8 o'clock tonight. We're joined now by Jay Train. Good afternoon, Jay. How are you?
I apologize for being late, just running late from work.
No worries. We're just glad you're here. Glad you're here. You just in time. Yeah, guys. So basically make sure you download the Roku app. Stay in the know with 24/7 sports without the cost of cable. Miss Linda, we are always thinking of you, praying for you and what have you, and all that good stuff. And yeah, guys, so the Cavaliers were eliminated last night. The number one seed out of that specific division is no more. The Pacers kept pace, and I mean, it was lights out the entire time. We talked about the deficit, the 3-1 deficit, and how difficult that is to come back from. I actually told Jack this morning, those two games last night were the first games I watched the entire game because it was so, detrimental to seeing if they could win and stay in or if there was going to be some elimination, guys.
You know, Cleveland had a great regular season, but this is kind of typical. I know there were some injury issues and whatever else, but you know, everybody's got to have next man up kind of mentality this time of year, and it's typical Cleveland Cavalier postseason basketball. They just don't show up at the big moments, and the Pacers have the last few years. They haven't made it to the finals, but they've had some pretty big series wins the last few years, and I'm kind of looking forward to the next series, but I don't want to get ahead of myself too much.
Good evening to you, Rick. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Also, good evening to Danny. And make sure you guys send Keith Angle some stars, guys. TGI Sports Talk. That's how he continues to produce content and get it out there. You know, and just TGI Sports Talk, like we said, we're so graced to have him as well. Guys, I just wanted to also talk about the fact that if you're down 3-1, are you kind of just delaying the inevitable?
For the most part, I mean, it's anecdotally, you know, that a team might come back. It's very rare. You don't hear it. I mean, even in the championship, I think the only team to ever do it was the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. Speaking of the team we're talking about with LeBron James against the Warriors,
Right.
But it's rare. Yeah. So when you see a team down 3-1, it's almost inevitable. Like you said, they're delaying their unalive time. I want to say the other word.
But you're saying there's a chance.
They're shellacking. They're getting a shellacking. I mean, that game really, I mean, even though it was basically they were facing elimination, the game was really good, in my opinion. 114-105. I mean, they looked like they were formidable for a little bit, but this is the thing that happens. You got Tyrese Halliburton, of course. They called him Hallelujah last night on the little, let's see, it was Dwight Howard, of course, Charles Barkley, that whole crew called him Hallelujah, basically 114-105. And we knew that this was going to probably go down to the wire, at least when they were trying to fight back. Of course, he had 31 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. And then Pascal Siakam, I mean, 21 points and 8 rebounds. And they talked about the percentage of the bench that showed up in that game. I mean, they literally, anytime the bench can defeat you, it's a done data. The Pacers actually shot 10 out of 15 from the field, 6 of 10 from beyond the arc for Halliburton himself. Of course, this is their second consecutive season going back-to-back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the Pacers I'm speaking of. And it's the first time since 2005 that the first round series against the Boston Celtics that the Pacers have won 3 road games in single playoff series. So for the Cavaliers, this loss signifies a disappointing end to their season because they were the top seed in the Eastern Conference, and they dropped 3 of their home games in the postseason. So looking at that for their franchise, that was the first time that had happened. Despite that strong start, this is what really got them 44-25 lead in the second quarter. There's no way that deficit should have been overcome. I mean, you have to play double from behind to catch up and get the victory, right, B. Strilla?
I saw this for Cleveland anyway. Like I said, when they finished the season, they were not playing particularly well basketball wise, and they Miami is Miami.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that was probably an easy winnable series for them in the first place. But when they had to play some competition, I didn't think they were going to make it past that far.
Yeah. Good evening, Miss Linda. Good evening, beautiful. Thank you so much. She said she's with us. Danny, he said he said it last year. The Celtics worst champion in years. And see, we'll get there in just a second. And happy Wednesday to you, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure those are either Bo or Keith affiliates. We appreciate all of you guys. And good evening to Brent as well.
What up, Brent?
Yeah, he says he's cooking. So we'll get a plate after the show, guys. Thank you, Brent. Yeah, so, I mean, speaking of that specific game, let's flip on over to the Nuggets and OKC game, y'all. I mean, that's the one that was lights out. Tied series going in with 2-2. Both of these teams literally playing like they're trying. That's your championship team coming out of that right there. Whoever wins this matchup, the Nuggets or OKC, is going to be who's going to give the Knicks, because at this point, it looks like the Celtics are going to fold like lawn chairs thanks to Jason Tatum going down. I mean, he was already not playing 100% or showing leadership qualities, and now he's injured. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But SGA, y'all, I mean, 40 points by himself. And despite those efforts, despite the Thunder's efforts, which included SGA's points, the Nuggets managed to secure a victory 80-68. Now, I don't know how that game got away like that. Not with the final score.
You lost me.
Sorry,
They
guys.
lost.
Sorry, guys.
You're right. I was
like,
like,
what night was
I
this?
flipped back, guys. I'm sorry, I flipped back.
I was like, I feel
It's
like
been
I
a
missed
long
the
day.
days.
It's been a long day. Let's talk. Nikola Jokic, my bad, guys, delivered a very strong performance for the Nuggets. I mean, he delivered 27, grabbed 13 rebounds. And let's talk about Jamal Murray, who pulled up as well. Big matchup as well throughout that whole debacle. I just want to say debacle because those two were really, really fighting.
72 points. They got to get more than from the rest of the team. Michael Porter Jr. has kind of disappeared a couple of times in this series, last night specifically, and Braun didn't play well. So they need, I mean, as great as those two players are, you can't win in the NBA with getting nothing. I don't know. They didn't get, I want to say they didn't get 30 points from the rest of, well, of course I could do the math. What am I doing? I could.
We're all messed up here. We're like, wait a minute. We're messed up with these games because
You're on the right track.
I'm on a high school degree. I just can't do math.
Now there was a lot of guys in single digits there. Like that's a tough win.
Oh my gosh.
What a game. All right.
I mean, you can't really blame Aaron Gordon, though. Aaron Gordon seems, I mean, both series has played pretty well for them.
Yeah. Well,
and of course, Jokic, I mean, you can't, he has the worst looking 3-pointer I've ever seen in my life. And it always goes in and it touches nothing but net.
He's like Patrick Mahomes' wild throws in the NFL, and they somehow land into the right hand.
He shoots like a grandmother when he shoots 3-pointers. He just goes way over his head and it goes in. I mean, it's impressive that it goes in.
Cartwright shooting from the free throw line.
You know,
I don't know. It's crazy, but like, okay, so we kind of alluded to this, and Keith, I see you already nodding your head. We're gonna go ahead and give you this little tragic news. You're up there as a Northeasterner. Knicks and Celtics. Every time I say Knicks, I think about Jay-Z. Knicks and Nets, give me a high five. I'm so sorry. Every time I think about the Knicks, that verse just pops in my head. Shout out to Jay-Z Hova. Anyway, the Knicks, I mean the Knickerbockers, they are really getting it done, and I don't know if the Celtics are going to be able to hang on, especially with Jason Tatum now going down with this injury that will be landing him out probably not just the rest of the series, but most of next season as well. Very sad, ruptured right Achilles tendon, guys. And I mean, y'all know I'm going to bow out after that anyway, because Jason Tatum is the reason why I wanted the Celtics to win, because he's a Duke alum. But I mean, guys, what were your thoughts on that?
Listen, one thing I'll never do, I don't root for, and a lot of people I watch sports with do this. I don't root for my opponent to get hurt. I want to beat them at full strength. I really do. Always want to beat them at full strength. It's going to hurt the Celtics badly. They're still going to come out tonight and they're going to throw 3-pointers. It doesn't matter whether Jason Tatum's there or not. They're going to throw that because that's their only strategy. I mean, I don't know why they have a coach, because this is all they do. They throw 3-pointers, 48, I think, the other night. They went from 14 up to 9 down in about, I don't know, 8 or 9 minutes in the start of that fourth quarter. The Knicks have played really good basketball, but even as a Knicks fan, the Celtics have given it away as much as the Knicks have taken it. Again, I want to give the team credit, and they played good defense down the stretch, but the Celtics have helped them a lot. And
yeah, that's what Carlos says. Good evening, Carlos.
If I'm the guy making decisions in Boston, I've got to wonder about my head coach when this is my strategy. If I hit 3-pointers, I win. If I don't, I lose, and that's it.
It's funny. There's this whole like mid-range game that's worked for a long time. That I don't know if the 3 isn't dropping, you still need points.
It's absolutely
weird.
I mean, everybody throws up 3-pointers today, right? But again, it's that mid-range game that a lot of times is the deciding factor in games where you're not hitting 3-pointers. So
hitting the mid range can actually get you back in rhythm to hit the three ball.
a great point. Great point.
And then on top of that, like the last game the Pistons played the Celtics in the series, in the season, they beat the crap out of them. You know why? Because the Boston Celtics were going to that 3-point game. And the Pistons said, you know what? Let's score like a whole bunch of points in the paint. That'll work. And they scored like 52 points in the paint to the Celtics like 12. That's the reason why they blew them out. You can't make your 3-pointers, you die by the 3-pointers. So
absolutely. What's up, RM? He said the Celtics losing is good for business. What's up to AC Night? We got a lot of folks coming on here. Shout out to Bo and Keith. They get these folks fired up. I mean, we are live. We are seeing close to 50 at least on here. Good evening to everybody coming on. I mean, this is it. This is the finale. You know, this is where you stay, or like Jay Train said, if you're down 3-1, you probably are gonna just already got your stuff packed up. Your locker room is pre-packed up. Let's be clear. And then a lot of these games are going back home, and the home court advantage, like Denver, like you know, it is what it is. Yes, Keith.
By the way, Denver. We talked about 3-1 deficits. If I'm not mistaken, it was a few years back. I think Denver did it twice in one postseason. They came back from 3-1.
You are correct. Right? You are correct.
No, you can definitely
that's an anomaly, you know.
Yeah.
Going back to what Bo said about mid range is, leading to a 3-pointer. You can look at the other series that you guys just talked about, OKC versus Denver. SGA, he is like the king of mid range, and he's the smoothest mid range player I've seen in a long time. And that last 3-pointer at the end just was the nail in the coffin for them. And I think they're going to go ahead and win the series. But the Knicks, look, I don't think the Celtics are out of it. It's sad what happened to Jason Tatum. Let's get that out right there. But I'm not too sad. My man's got $300 million guaranteed in his pocket. So whatever happens to him, he's good.
He'll be right.
He's going to be
they
fine.
gotta wait on Porzingis. You guys know Porzingis has been out this week with this viral infection that he has.
I'm not really counting him in his situation. What really matters is they still have a nucleus of players still there on the team. They just got to come together and play, and they need to revamp if they really want to stay in it. They're the champions. You're the champions. Who was the NBA Finals MVP last season?
I want to.
Jason Tatum?
No.
Well, I don't know.
It was Jaylen Brown.
Oh, Jaylen Brown, right?
Wrong
He's still
right.
in the series. It needs to be played through him. He's got to step up. He's another $300 million player. I don't have I can't say that I have any. I feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for them at all. You make a lot of money. Derek White, you also another guy making $168 million guaranteed. And then you have a really great player in Al Horford. If you really want to win, you've blown the first two games with blown leads, 20-point leads.
20 is
you got to figure it out to make a difference. And I think they can. I think they really can. I like the Knicks. And I'm pulling for the Knicks. Mac, wherever you are, I'm going for the Knicks. Pulling for the Knicks.
If Boston was going to win, I mean, tonight, obviously they have to, but tonight is that game, right? They lose a guy, they're down big. Nobody wants to go out on the first elimination game. I could see them coming out firing. Now the next game is probably a wrap, but they'll give them everything they got tonight. Or I mean,
tonight's the game I'm worried. I think Bo's right. I think they come up with a little bit of extra adrenaline. I'm not saying they'll win. I do think because the Knicks have played great on the road in these playoffs. I think if it's possible they can win tonight. I don't see any way they can cobble together 3 straight wins without Tatum. That's all. So,
and I'm gonna tell y'all, Mac would be the only reason why I'd be pulling for the Knicks. I mean, I have family in New York. My grandfather's from Brooklyn, but that's the Nets. That's not the Knicks. So, for Mac, I will pull for the Knicks. I mean, I don't have nobody. And Steph Curry's out for the Warriors. Or is he coming back bandaged up? I mean, they're down. This is just a lopsided playoff, guys.
I'm trying not to be heard here, so I'm still right here, and you can root for him for me as well.
I'm so sorry, Keith. I guess I'm so used to your Patriot affiliation. You know. I'm so sorry. Okay, I
and Porzingis has been playing. It's just a problem that he's just not at 100%. He scored 7 points the last game. So I mean, he has to get over his curve. That's all.
Yeah. The fact that the Celtics been playing better on the road, according to Danny. So Nick stepping up. We got a lot of comments in here. Celtics definitely underestimated the Knicks. Yes, they did. They thought they were, gonna come back in here and just be what they are. Brent saying he's biased. I was a Willis Reed. Okay, Brent,
what are you, 90?
Yeah, he went to high school with Jesus, so
my age. I saw some of them games.
13.
What did that kid?
I didn't. I don't even know who he's talking about.
I was 13 years old when that team won a championship he just talked about with the Pearl.
Jay Train and I weren't here. Neither was Bo. So there you have it.
Nobody was alive on this panel except where's Jack when I need him for crying?
Oh, he's listening. Hi, Jack. We know you're listening. He told me earlier when I texted him a picture of Jackie Robinson's wife, going back to that real quick, about how the plug we used this morning, when the show started, was talking about Jackie Robinson. I sent him a picture of Jackie Robinson's wife and said that she was, the one I sent you guys, said she was 102. And he's like, oh, I've got to talk to you on Friday about the time I met her. I'm like, oh my gosh, Jack.
It was graduation. They graduated together.
Was that when they were playing basketball with peach baskets?
Yeah, trash cans.
I'm kidding, Jack. If you're watching, you're always watching when I'm busting your chops.
Oh my God! She said when they graduated together.
Jack interviewed Dr. James Naismith.
When Jack's here,
Jack was sitting with the other 11 apostles when Jesus met with them before he was crucified. He was in the picture. You guys have seen Jack. I'll point it out later.
Poor Jack.
With hair.
I'll find a picture and send it to you later. Right beside Judas. Just kidding, Jack. We love you. All right, guys, let's move on because this show, like Bo always says, goes off the rails. It's all my fault.
About this time.
I feel like we're actually behind on it going off the rails. We're 20 minutes in.
Right. Yeah.
I know. I guess because I came on kind of mad. Speaking of going off the rails, the MLB, let's talk about baseball. All right. We already know about the MLB. The MLB commissioner, Rob Manfred, basically announced today, okay, guys, he's going to change the policy about the permanent ineligibility status for players, coaches, and owners. Banned from sports will be restored upon their death. That's significant because, I hate to give him a tiny amount of credit, but Trump actually talked about this when he came in. He wanted Pete Rose being eligible to come into the Hall of Fame. And so now this decision, this reversal that has been around forever, including when the former commissioner back in the 1920s and 1940s, who ran a very strict guideline for MLB, Mountain Landis, he basically did not want to give nobody no leadway. And so in case I learned a little bit of history today, just talking to Jack about this, I realized that some of these folks got caught up in this whole, the AKA Black Sox, the Chicago White Sox scandal that basically saw the entire team, or most of them, 8 members of the 1919 Chicago White Sox, being banned because they fixed the World Series. All this is alleged. And of course, this would include none other than our friend, I say our friend in baseball, Joe Jackson, who is also now amongst Shoeless Joe Jackson, not Shoot Joe Jackson. He's amongst the talk with Pete Rose that in 2028, when they convene again, that they will actually be able to decide whether or not these two gentlemen can go in. Now, ain't nobody touching Pete's record as much for the most hits, but is this one of the situations, guys, I want to get everybody's opinion on this, where they're just going to be like, listen, God forbid, because this guy is gone, but he just passed last September. So this is still fresh that he's passed away. And so some people are like, well, nope, he lied about it for many years. Then he was, nasty about it. Then he finally does a small private interview in like 2002 where he admits it. Then he puts a book out where he confesses it. And now, it's all out there. But, is not taking accountability part of the issue? Or do we just think that the gambling was so egregious that we just cannot overlook this when his name comes up in 2028?
So the thing is he's going to be a first ballot. They're going to put him right through. And the reason for that is then his story goes away. They don't ever have to talk about it again, right? As long as he was alive and they weren't letting him in every year at the Hall of Fame time, they bring him up about how he's not in and all of that. And now he's gone. He can't make any noise on that front. They put him in. It's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
I would bet they push it through.
I would agree with that if it wasn't the Veterans Committee that was doing it, because those guys tend to hold grudges against guys like Pete Rose more than the general baseball writers that vote on the regular vote. He can't go in on that. He's ineligible for that vote. He's got to get whatever they call it. It's not even the Veterans Committee anymore. They call it something else. But listen, I think Pete Rose belongs in a Hall of Fame. I've said this forever. He should be there, warts and all.
Mm-hmm.
But
Warts I heard you. That's why I was like, what? Like
that all you say?
Private warts? We don't want to go.
No, he doesn't.
That's blemishes on their career.
Like HPV?
He probably does, yes.
Because there is some allegations about an SA with him as well. So that's why I was like,
listen, there's a lot of.
Oh my goodness.
It is. I was reading it.
It's not just a gambling with Pete Rose, by the way.
Right.
There's allegations about him with underage girls, and but
We need to ask Ozzy Osbourne if we can get permission for a Crazy Train, because this show definitely goes off the rails.
But we're speaking facts.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the color bars to shoot across the screen.
You put on his plaque.
I need to start doing a disclaimer.
Again, you can't have a Hall of Fame without Pete Rose, but we can't also have the Hall of Fame without Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. Mm-hmm. These guys, you put them in and you say what they did. It's fine.
It's like Game of Thrones. Confess.
People. Confess. And to your question about what kept Pete out, is he would not come clean about the fact that, well, he said, I bet on the Reds, but he never bet against the Reds. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he did. What he doesn't seem to understand is when you're mixed up with gamblers and you're betting the Reds every time you think they're going to win, every time you don't bet on them is a signal that you think they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Almost the same thing as betting against them. And you can't say he didn't make moves during games that he would bet on that would cost him games later on. So if Pete would just admitted all that stuff, he would have got in a long, long time ago, probably. Right. And it's not. And on the other side of this, and I'll talk out of the other side of my mouth a little bit, Rob Manfred is such a freaking hypocrite. It's unbelievable. He denied this.
I was about to talk about that.
Different times. Yeah. And when Bart Giamatti made this wasn't a lifetime ban, so that you die. It was a permanent ban, which is a different thing, right? And I want him in the Hall of Fame. Don't get me wrong. They waited until he was dead so he couldn't enjoy it, and he knew this was going to happen. He talked about it all the time. And Rob Manfred's a creep, and he's ruining the game of baseball. And this is just another example of it. And, Bo, I don't think it's a slam dunk that he gets in the first time around. I really don't.
The only reason I think it is because they want to be able to just end the story.
I get that.
I feel like there will be pressure from Manfred to make it happen.
Oh, well. These comments
in the land of collusion, I would bet.
Mean, let me get B Strilla on this, because y'all, we will hammer this in and be like, and I haven't even given y'all my take yet. So B Strilla, and then J Train kind of gave a little bit, but I'm gonna come back to J Train as well, because then I know y'all gonna have some comeback on this. Go ahead, Strilla.
I mean, I'm with Bo and Keith. I mean, I just it's too late. I've read a commentary where somebody said they shouldn't be in, period. Just stand by your rules of what you set, no matter how old the rules are, just stand them out. I heard that argument, and then the argument that he is good enough to be in a Hall of Fame. Obviously, Pete Rose, we're just saying now Pete Rose. I don't care about the Chicago.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I'm not a big Chicago fan.
Great player. He was a
he was. I'll give you that. Yes, he was. That's why Field of Dreams was made. But anyway,
I watched that.
Yeah, that was about the Chicago White Sox.
And 8 Men Out, right?
8 Men Out.
Yep, 8 Men Out. That was the other one.
8 Men Out was about that. This exact
it's a great movie.
Exactly.
It was a great film. Yeah.
The book was even better if you ever get a chance. It's a great book.
Thank you. I'm going to get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I read
I
the
mean,
book first and then I saw the movie.
J Train, what do you think? I mean, is this should they just wave him on in? And then I can't wait to tell you guys my theory.
This is one of the things that I really don't like about human nature, because there's always fault in some hypocrisy in something like you guys mentioned or alluded to.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm dead, yes, put flowers on my grave, fine, but I don't need to know about it. I mean, obviously, hopefully, I won't know about it. But if I'm a magnificent performer on stage, you're going to give me flowers after I'm done. You should give me my flowers when I'm here on Earth. And if I'm somebody like Pete Rose, regardless of what I've done or whether it was proven or not, at some point, I don't have to be first ballot, but I'm getting old. I need to at least acknowledge that, that my greatness on the field is without question. There's no way. I mean, obviously, if I didn't do what I did or whatever the situation is, I'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's just without a doubt. And the same thing for the other guys, man. I mean, look, I don't know. I have to read the book on 8 Men Out. I'm just not sure. I mean, did that really happen? I mean, they went through.
Happened. I got the names right here of who they were.
It happened. They got found innocent in a court of law, but they did it. And,
right, exactly, right, because they found a way to get around it. Yeah,
those guys were involved as,
Some of it was just guilty by association. And I mean, J Train, I'll let you wrap up with your comment, and then I'll.
That's pretty much it. I just think that anyone that does well and performs well, greater than most of their peers, they deserve to be honored, regardless of what the situation. I mean, because we got people like Lawrence Taylor that was honored. And you look at some of the things that he's done off the field, and it's just like, okay,
look at the Baseball Hall of Fame is full of racists. It's full of bad guys. OJ's still in the Football Hall.
I'm getting it. Yes, that was part of my example.
And on top of that, whatever happened to the asterisk, they use them. They have no problem using them in every sport.
That's great.
Just put an asterisk by his name.
This is my thing. So, Keith, to answer your question, it's going to be the Classic Baseball Era Committee that will meet in 2027.
Changing the name.
Yes, you're welcome. I had to redeem myself for that stat I gave earlier that you guys were like, wait a minute, what game? So I got off like twisted out. Anyway, this is my thing, y'all. And y'all know I'm always the legal mind behind stuff. So I kind of look at things as far as like in the sense of the world as a whole. One of you guys mentioned OJ, and this morning Jack brought that up as a comparison. And I said, a part of me is kind of like how J Train said, there's a human element in this. I know that we all are living in an era where everybody kind of wants to come by y'all and just move forward from the past and rectify what they can and keep it moving. But in my personal belief, I'm not going to know if somebody honors me when I'm gone or not. And so if I'm not here to enjoy that, and just let it be. They're going to go ahead and wave him on in just to get it over with. Let's be clear, because he made the stats and the stats don't lie. But at the end of the day, and this is where there's a gray area. Wrong is wrong and right is right. It doesn't matter if someone was unalived or if they were cheated. It's the same wrongness. It's no degree of wrongness. It's just whether or not the human aspect goes in there and you're ready to forgive that wrong. And in this instance, which like OJ, was found not guilty criminally, but settled civilly. And my thing is, I'm not settling civilly if I wasn't at least present criminally. You're not going to give an undisclosed amount of money and I was nowhere near this or I had no knowledge of this. No, you settle civilly because you are held liable for the criminal action, even though you're not found guilty. So with the same situation here with Pete Rose, he is liable. No matter what the Hall of Fame decides to do, even if they put him in, like B. Strilla said, put that asterisk and keep it pushing P.
Yeah, well, and they should do that with all of the steroids guys too.
I agree, 100%.
Put the asterisk in it, put them in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I don't know how you're keeping guys like McGuire and Bonds out. I mean, they're what saved baseball anyway.
You also don't know who else was doing it. They were like, 75% of the league was doing steroids. So what, come on,
Well, and to add to the hypocrisy of it, the guys that they found out that did do it, but were already in the Hall of Fame, got to stay in the Hall of Fame. So it's not even like they're like, oh, you know what, we're pulling you out. They're like, well, you were in before we caught it, so
And that's the human element. You're never going to have a perfect yes/no society. It's always going to be a yes, no, maybe. And it's going to take somebody to go back. Like Shoeless Joe Jackson was considered, but because you're caught up with 7 other friends of yours, your guilt is just, according to the MLB, is just as weighty as everybody else's. If you were over there drinking lemonade and you saw this going down, guess what, Shoeless? You saw it, and because you didn't come tell it, and that's what they found. He was, found later innocent of this. He was just caught up. Yes.
Think about dumb stuff you did as a kid, but you didn't actually do it, but your friends were with you.
Yep. That trapper keeper that got stolen from Roses. Yes, I know.
The thing with Rob Manfred, he still doesn't get it right because he does the right thing for the wrong reasons. So even when he's right, he's wrong.
Rob Manfred argued that a penalty. He argued that this penalty lasts a lifetime with no reprieve, and it was significant, y'all. Like, this was like an ironclad decision, but this is from the 1900s, the early 1900s, into the 20s and 40s.
Rob Manfred reminds me of an old saying, by the way, and I didn't make this up. My grandfather told me, and I doubt that he made it up.
Is it safe for the show, Keith?
Oh, it's very safe. It's very clean. And
you said your grandfather.
It's when you die, right? You don't know you're dead. You don't suffer. You're not crying. All the other people around you, they suffer, and they're the ones in pain. It's the same thing when you're stupid.
Yes, you're numb. That's so true. That is so true, and I love that. Let me give you some of the names, J Train, and for our audience, because I know you're interested in knowing who these gentlemen were from the Chicago White Sox scandal. Allegedly, Eddie Ciotte, Claude Lefty Williams, Chick Gandley, Charles Swede Riceberg, Buck Weaver, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Happy Felsch, Fred McMullen, Joe Gideon, Gene Paulette, Benny Koff, Shuffin Phil Douglas, Jimmy O'Connell, Cozy DeLon, William D. Cox was also from other teams, was caught up in this. Pete Rose and Lee McGee, these are all the people that this ruling affects them now. 17 players with the opportunity to be waived into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. By the way, the rules don't stay. Everybody talks about the sign everybody sees when you walk in the clubhouse. You can't bet on games. By the way, all the leagues are wrapped up with gamblers right and left now. So that's another reason.
Yeah. Look at so you know what? They gonna keep Rice.
That's
man
part
out,
of
Shohei Ohtani.
Right.
That's part of the hypocrisy.
Absolutely.
They gonna keep Sesame Chicken out when it comes time for him to go into the Hall of Fame because his agent was betting.
No. The fact that he got to keep playing lets you know that that's not the case. Although the Lions, they got hammered real heavy.
They did. They did.
What, 3 years ago now?
For Jamison Williams?
Well, no, because of betting. So, I mean,
that was JMO.
They lost players.
Yeah, it was JMO, yeah.
It was actually 3 other players that were doing. JMO did not. See, the NFL was really quick to put this and I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm not a Roger Goodell fan. I can't stand him. I do not like him at all. Okay, I think he has turned this game of football into a joke.
Why do people hate him so much? Why does he
turn this game into a joke? You make rules where you have defenses not.
I don't know if that's his
bring back
fault.
Tagliabue, but anyway.
Is that really his fault?
Yeah,
it is his fault.
He's just a messenger. The owners are the ones that usually bring the rules down.
Well,
he's a commissioner and has to approve it.
He is really good at doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to make the owners money and make the league profitable. So whether you like the rules or not, he's probably the best commissioner at doing what his job is actually supposed to be.
Isn't he an attorney by trade?
Yeah, most of them have been attorneys, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Don't put that out there. That's a bad thing. All right, guys. We got about 19 minutes left for the show, and we've definitely got to talk about the hottest news for all of us. This is officially scheduled release day. However, there's been some little sneaky tidbits dropped here and there. For the first time in NFL history, there are going to be 7 international games that are going to be played. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Pittsburgh Steelers will be in Dublin, Ireland on week 4, September 28th. The Vikings, again, the only team to be overseas in 2 different foreign countries, in October 5th, playing the Browns. Denver Broncos versus the Jets in London, week 6. Los Angeles Rams versus the Jaguars. You get to see Travis Hunter over there. He gets to go overseas to London his first year in the NFL, October 19th. Then the Atlanta Falcons are going to be taking on the Indianapolis Colts over in Berlin, Germany, November 9th. The Commanders and Dolphins are going to be playing in Madrid, you guys, in Spain on November 16th. And the Chargers as well, week 1, to open it up, they're going to be over in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The opponent is to be announced. It's going to be a little thing. Black Friday game, Chicago Bears at the Eagles. Week 10, Monday Night Football game, Eagles, Green Bay. The Christmas doubleheader, the Saturday doubleheader for week 16, Eagles and Commanders. That's going to be big. Green Bay at Chicago. Yes, Keith, I know you are.
Am I the only guy who doesn't get excited about international games? Because to Bo's point, that's exactly why Roger Goodell is there. And that's why the only reason we're playing international games is for money.
He wants to expand the NFL to our foreign friends who are fans.
It's never going to. We're going to play in any other countries but here.
Foreign friends who are fans.
But it's never going to play in Brazil. They're never going to play in London. They're never going to play in Germany. It's all about going over there and selling merchandise, and that's all it's for. And you know who doesn't want to go? The players don't want to go. They don't want to travel.
I would like to go.
Ahmad St. Brown wanted to go to Germany. He did state that.
His people from over there.
Because he's from Germany.
Yeah, right.
Germany, so.
There you go. Well, that's a good reason. But most of them don't want to go. They don't want the travel and the nonsense. And
I don't like it either.
Last season where they did
want to go. Coaches don't want to go play overseas. I guarantee you, not a coach in the league will tell you, I can't wait to go play in Germany this year.
If you have back-to-back games, though, it's not so bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the Jags have done it a few different times where they have back-to-back games in London. One's a home, one's an away. But you get to acclimate a little bit, get used to the area. So, I mean, it's not quite as bad if you get to do back-to-backs.
Yeah.
Wasn't it last year that they had the issue where somebody went to Brazil, the Jets, or somebody with a green color, and they couldn't let them come out of their hotel?
Both teams were green.
They were confined. They were confined to their hotels or limited in their movement. They couldn't even go, in their free time and see anything because that's the primary game color over there.
Well, there was different safety issues.
Goodell don't care about the folks.
Because
if you have that issue. If you have that issue and you're sending players of your league to that issue, that clearly tells me you don't care about your players. That's a safety issue.
Yeah, what do you think, J Train?
But they don't get sued for that safety issue.
Well,
hold on.
They could.
I don't feel like you need to apologize to Jack. Both he and Sonya took a shot at you. What? No, Rick, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Rick, sign on at 7:00.
Oh my gosh.
Going on here.
Oh, by the way, Sonya, you did the Christmas game. It's Minnesota and Detroit playing. I got that off of NFL.com.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell y'all what y'all won't do is come from my little research that I'm supposed to be doing. December. So that game that I told you is not Christmas Day, but it is in December. Oh, you could have sent me a private message on here. Wow.
I'm sorry.
I mean, there's a lot of leaks that aren't accurate anyway. So
thank you, Bo. Thank you, cousin Bo.
But that came right off. NFL
No, that's the only place you can get real information.
That's where I get my real information from too. So
well, see, Rick, I've already paid, made my repentance there for whatever happened that you're saying that happened Saturday.
I'll find out. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know what Rick's talking about. I think Jack said something and I said I wasn't sure. That might have been what happened.
I'm sure it was Jack. I'm positive.
Where's the fun in that? Anytime I take a shot, I will gladly tell you I took a shot.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait a minute. I've done so many shows since Saturday, I can't keep up anymore.
Another theory they have, when people are picking on me, they're leaving somebody else alone. So I'm okay with that too. Everything's positive.
That's not true. I'm an equal opportunity.
Let everybody. I mean, what do you guys say about me other than that my stats are wrong?
Nothing.
Other than Jack talking about your Panthers.
Yeah, Jack's, yeah. Ugh. So listen, guys. So our schedules are all coming out tonight. Our regular schedules. We kind of already know who our opponents are. Regular divisional matchups. Plus, you pick a division that you're playing one team in that division. You're pretty much playing that other division, the entire division. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm not super excited about the schedule release for the Panthers.
This is what the NFL does so well. They can make this a big deal somehow. We all know who we're playing, just not where and when. I mean, but they sell everything, and they do a great job. Their public relations department and marketing department does a tremendous job. Everything is a big deal.
I just want to see the hype video. I just want to see what the video looks like. I don't care about, I need to see. Last year it sucked. The Panthers video last year sucked. I watched it like 4 times to try to understand what was going on.
No,
those get creative.
The marketing machine of the NFL is unbelievable. I knew people that I used to work with that would take the day off.
Yeah,
they take the day off for schedule release.
Oh, that's
so wild to me.
For what?
Wow.
Take the day off when you lose in the playoffs and you can't go to work and face people. That's what I do. Like once I know that we've lost, let's just say we lose 4 or 5 in a row. That's when I get missing. I come off social media. I'm not saying anything. I'm barely doing this show with y'all. That's how I got involved in other teams. So that way it doesn't hurt as much.
The one day I did have that I made a company holiday, whether it was my shop or my HVAC company, was the Monday after Super Bowl, because I knew no actual work was going to get done anyway.
Yeah.
So just company holiday, don't even bother coming in.
Yeah, company.
I mean, that's really how it should be too.
I mean, I'm interested to know because J-Train, you guys. Yeah, so everybody else on here pretty much knows who their quarterback's going to be. Well, wait a minute. But who are you guys going with? Because we know that.
It'll be Darnold.
Who?
Darnold.
Oh, y'all are going to do it. Okay. Well, great for you guys. He's from us, so congratulations on the gift. J-Train, I mean, you guys got Spencer Rattler, or are you going to go with Show Me the Way? Which one are you guys going to probably go with out there in?
Why you got to be so animated?
Oh, I'm going to have to tell her. I'm going to have to correct her because his name is not Show, it's Shuck.
Shuck. Well, Shuck. Let's figure out who we're going to get.
I've heard people say, "Oh, Shuck," yes, with his name. Right now, it's what Kellen Moore announced is that it's a quarterback battle. It's the next man up. But I think everybody knows that you don't take a guy in the second round without giving him a leg up above everybody else. And I think you look at him; he can make all the throws. He's got a 6'5" height. He's 225. He runs a 4.6 in the 40. So he has a leg up on everybody. But I'm not counting Spencer Rattler out. I mean, Spencer Rattler has a very live arm, but he's 6'1", or not even barely 6'1". He's almost 6 foot, I think. Right. And I think it's a matter of whether or not he gets beat out in camp. And then you have a couple other quarterbacks too. But Tyler Shuck is probably the shoe-in to be the starter. But they may get a veteran to come in at some point. Just
like Rodgers.
Do you guys still got Jake Haener, or did he go?
No, Jake Haener's still on the team right now, but I mean, we'll see. They kept another quarterback, Decker, Hunter Decker or something. I forgot the kid's name out of Iowa State.
So but 7 quarterbacks.
He tried out
got
the team,
as many quarterbacks as y'all do starting center.
Say it again.
You guys got as many quarterbacks down there as you do the front center.
Oh, well, I mean, we got 4 quarterbacks right now. Yep.
Okay, well, yeah. What were you saying, Bo?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So
The rarity.
I mean, Keith,
Under your breath,
There
Paul.
it is.
nothing. Well, I'm excited from the standpoint of just getting the season started. It's my favorite time of season. It goes into the holidays, and then of course the winter is my birthday, and then all that good stuff, and then the season's over, and I'm sad again. But we'll say this: Bryce is coming into his own, and if anyone on this panel has a game against us, we are coming. Just letting you know, and that excludes J Train because he's already gotten the notice. Thank you.
You got to see him twice, so.
Yeah, we see them twice every season. We haven't been able to get the broom out on them in quite a while. It's usually a split, or they usually have a mop bucket for us, but I don't think this season is going to occur that way. I think we may be getting the broom and the mop out this year for the whole NFC South.
I love May, right, Jay?
Well-
Train, you got to love May. May's an awesome time to really be spouting off.
Everybody wins in May, right? Everybody's winning
Everybody's
in May.
record is 0-0 in May.
Yep.
It is hype season.
Everybody.
No, Sonia, you're gonna need the mop and the broom to clean out that empty stadium you got.
Oh, well, at least we don't bring rats in and drop them off at opponents' locker rooms like you guys did the Falcons.
I mean, maybe you should start.
Well, they
Oh, we
are.
cook the
Yeah.
rats down there. We cook the rats in gumbo. So I
They
mean,
brought the rats down for the Falcons' new stadium, and it was on the news that they had rats in there after the Saints used their locker room. And I think they probably, I do remember seeing it for real. That is no joke, but I don't know if
No,
they
that was a real
deliberately did it. It came in somebody's luggage bag, clearly.
oh my God.
But guys, what is is anybody excited for the schedule release other than the hype? Is Kansas City Chiefs playing on Christmas and Thanksgiving? Like, can we get rid of these guys? I'm sick of them.
Now, the only thing that's good about the schedule release is if you're going to try to go to an away game, you can finally plan your trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's it.
get your budget together.
That's it.
I'm interested to see who we're playing and when. I'll look tomorrow morning. I'll check the schedule out.
Tomorrow morning, it's coming out tonight at like 8:30.
I don't have games for like 4 months, right? 3 months.
Right.
Oh, the schedule though, Keith. So my show that comes on at 9:00, and I'm gonna have Dr. Paul on there. He's
I'm excited for
spreading
that.
the news.
Yeah, I'm gonna chime in too.
I can't wait. He does start spreading the news. We're gonna talk about Yankees, but he said he doesn't watch any NBA. I was able to pull it out of him about the Jets, so I can't wait to, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, about his quarterback situation up there and what the schedule. So the schedule will be dropping right before airtime. So I'll try not to, really drag him on about that. But yeah, me too, RM Deals. I just want to fast forward to next season.
I'll be watching Jeopardy on fast forward.
Oh no, man! That reminds me of childhood.
I got the Knicks in Jeopardy on about that time, so I don't have time for the NFL.
All right, what do you guys think? Okay, listen, guys, this is how we're going to close out. I want to get you guys legit opinion. Thank you, everybody, for the likes, loves, comments, shares, all that good stuff. Really great show tonight. Always lots of fun. This is my favorite show of the week because I get on with all the sports heads and we mix it up with knowledge and everything else, and it's just great. So, now Will Howard came out. What, B?
I said I'm offended. You have a Friday show too.
We have a Friday show. Don't be offended. I was about to lead into that. Don't be offended. It's just I need everybody to show up. J Train and I be pulling it most of the time. B Striller, you be pulling it with us. But we got a collapsing crew. We almost look like an NFL team ourselves with all these people on the roster and nobody showing up to play except us three. So we're going to rename the show probably to just the trio. By the way,
that's the heaviest shot of the day.
Yeah, sorry. I'm like, it's been a long
What we call the Browns.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant to mention, guys. So there's two things.
Yeah.
So first, shout out to Mike Tipton. He's probably watching at home. Tip texted me and said he has spastic diarrhea tonight, so he can't come on.
I'm sure he appreciates
Speaking of Browns,
out there for him.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Browns,
I hope you feel better.
Brown Huggies.
He just said, I'm so sorry. He just said he was very sick. So I don't know. He was fine this morning, so it has to be stomach related.
As long as he says he didn't sit in any orange Gatorade, he's okay with me.
Right. So there's two things. You guys brought up the Browns, but
hopefully let's talk about Amber heard it.
Let's talk about the Bengals. So Shamar Stewart was drafted by the Bengals. This kind of ties in what I was going to talk about anyway. Shamar Stewart was drafted by the Bengals. Some people are saying, it's not uncommon for, draftees to try to negotiate their contract. But he's legit saying, I'm not taking the field because you guys basically paid last year's prospect at number 17 more than what you're paying me, and I think I'm worth more than that. On the same note, the veteran not really a veteran, but he was drafted, Trey Hendrickson is now coming out. He's gotten permission to be traded as of March because he's not happy with his contract. And he said now that the Bengals are not even communicating with him or anything. And their only comment is like, if he wants out, he can get out because we are just at an impasse where we are not going to pay him. But they did not forget to call him and let him know, by the way, mini camps have started and you are getting fined for missing mini camps.
Got a contract, show up, please. I'm so tired of these guys. You sign a contract that you think is fair market value until and he's probably got a lot of guaranteed money, Trey Hendrickson, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. But as soon as somebody gets paid more, you want to negotiate. Well, don't sign a long-term contract. Sign a one-year contract if that's your big deal. Then,
yes.
I mean, these guys, if you have a contract, show up and honor it, or
how about this? Get a better agent.
Good point.
I mean, I will say that he's a great player, but I mean, the leverage is in the ownership. Yeah. My man is 31. I think, is he 31?
Yeah, 31.
Yeah, he's 31. That does not bode well with. I mean, they have leverage. They just look. You made 17. Yes, you led the league with 17 sacks 2 years in a row. There's the potential that you can fall off a cliff.
Speaking of falling off, let me just put this in here. Will Howard, you guys know the Steelers don't really have their solid quarterback. He done put on the record that he basically begged, borrowed, and stole to get them to call him. Well, honey, they said he is overhyped. They came out and said he's got below average arm strength and accuracy, which means I could go out there and throw better with my rotator cuff repaired right arm than Will Howard and be more accurate.
Wow. I'm not sure
that Pittsburgh
go together, but he got drafted in the 6th round for a reason, or where he got drafted.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're expecting.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of signings and stuff like that, and but as I always like to say, the verdict is still out on everything because no one wins a game in May. It'd be great if everybody could stay 0-0, especially if the Panthers start going downhill. Let's see, Brent's saying I think Brad could have went up and got him, but he sees he's not a fit for the Lions. Okay. JB, what up, though? But at the same time, Trey wasn't required to show for. Okay, well, he knows that. Hello, Brian Petit. Mr. Petit, hello. He says hi to Bo and no one else. Hello, Brian. Okay. Not how we do here, not etiquette on the show, but Bo, you got your, maybe we could, I don't know, maybe we should just, put Bo on the spotlight or something so you can tell what it is.
Well, his last name is Petit, so I mean,
there you go, Bo. There you go.
One person. Gotta keep it small, so we just
gotta keep it petite. Gotta keep it petite and discreet. Guys, we had a really great show. Make sure you guys stay tuned all night long. It's going to be this type of fun. I don't know, maybe not this type of fun. It's just a crowd, But make sure you guys stay tuned. Keith Engel has his show. Bo, of course, Coast to Coast in the afternoon. Strilla, the killer, will be having his show. They're doing some big schedule release party this afternoon.
Tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, yeah, because I was like, how dare you guys compete with my show? But okay, because I know it's going to be 180 people on your live. And then, of course, J Train, myself, Strilla will be joining you guys Friday with the fellas. That's going to be even more fun than this show. Let's be clear. I was just being nice earlier. But, and of course, myself and Jack will be on Friday morning, and we're going to be talking about Jackie Robinson's wife that Jack knows. I don't know what show is going to look like. And, of course, NBA Finals will be probably somebody else will be eliminated. So, we'll be having all that news for you as well. It's been a great show again. We thank everybody for the likes, loves, and we're going to make like the Easter Bunny and hop on off of here.
You got
Bye.